You went training with Axel Merckx.
Yes, Axel came along and Koos Morenhout, and we had a good little ride together.
Surprisingly, Axel Merckx was the strongest guy, the second strongest guy of your team in the prelims.
It's not so surprising to me. He's been training hard, and in the spring he had a few problems. Didn't have the greatest races, but he fights hard, and he's a very good teammate, and I expected he would be one of the guys there.
During the press conference, you called giving Yellow away to Ferrero a gamble, so you're counting with him as a possible contender.
Yeah, anytime somebody gets the lead, they get more motivation than normal. I don't think at the start of the stage where he got the lead that he would have thought he would end up with the lead. But if I were him, at least, I think I would fight very hard, so that's what I'm basing it on.
What about Rabobank? They seem to have a very strong team.
They do have a very strong team. I'll have to wait and see what their tactics are. They have now, Bogert is not so far from the lead. Menchov is their best chance of winning the Tour, in my estimation. Rasmussen has lost a lot of time. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing he would like to win a mountain stage. For me, that would be fine, but I have to wait to see what their tactics are tomorrow and the following days.
You're awaiting attacks probably because nobody attacked you yet.
I imagine it will happen sooner or later. The good thing is now we've been racing for 2 weeks and the attacks aren't as hard. And hopefully I'm strong enough to find out.
Best of luck. Thanks a lot, Floyd Landis.
Thank you.
Thanks, Floyd.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Next in line.
Nice.
Danish television.
How are you? Good to
funny,
see you
isn't
again.
it?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, whenever you're ready. Floyd, we're in the decisive week of this Tour de France. How would you describe your state of mind at this point? Are you anxious to get started, nervous? How do you feel?
I feel quite good today in the rest day. There's been a few tours where I've done a lot of work before the second rest day and felt very bad, so I'm happy about that situation. As to any anxiety for next week, no, I have to take it one day at a time, and I don't have a particular time that I'm worried about or concerned about.
You are, for obvious reasons, one of the big favorites, yet I've never heard you say, and I don't think anybody heard you say the words, "I can win the Tour, I have what it takes to win the Tour." Why is that?
I think I've said it a few times. I don't predict that I will, but I certainly can if circumstances go well.
That situation the other day when you lost the yellow jersey, some critics called it disrespectful to the Tour and stuff like that. What were your thoughts and reasons for doing as you did?
I think it's obvious what we did. We don't want to ride on the front every day, and if there's a team that's strong enough to do so and sees value in having the jersey, then I don't see any problem with letting them have it, and I don't know why anybody would see that as disrespect. Clearly they don't understand cycling.
One of your rivals for overall victory, of course, is Menchov. He has excellent helpers in Rasmussen, Bogert, it looks. What are your thoughts on that Rabobank package?
Yeah, they're the most threatening of the other teams. But there is no team, like I said, with 9 strong guys who will all be there in the mountains. That would concern me more. What their tactics will be, I don't know. I'm happy that Rasmussen is not so close to the jersey. That would make things a lot more complicated. 2 guys is manageable, but 3 would be very difficult. So I'll wait to see what they do, but they're clearly the main rivals.
So Rasmussen is not a guy that you would be afraid to let go and win a mountain stage?
No, certainly not. I don't want him to get a half an hour. I don't know exactly how far down he is, but I think he's one who can win a stage regardless, even if he attacks on the last climb. He's a very good climber. But his style often is to go early, and if he does so, that would be fine with me.
Best of luck. Thanks.
Thank you.
Please. Last press conference, you mentioned a lot of the T-Mobile team. You obviously don't think about them that much anymore. Why is that?
I still think about them. They're still one of the stronger teams, and they still have Cloden, who was not as good as I expected on the first climb, but you never know. In the last week, things change quickly, and he's still not far from the lead. So he's one of the people I have to watch. About the team, I'm happy that they don't have 2 or 3 guys who are close to the lead. That, like I said, the same about Rabobank would concern me more. But again, with them, I have to wait to see what their tactics are. There's not one team who can ride on the front and control everything.
If you should make it to Paris in the yellow jersey, would that be like the one and only goal, or you then you would be satisfied for everything?
No, I don't think anybody has one thing in life that would make them happy the rest of their life. It's a goal and it's a dream, and if it happens, I'll be very pleased. But if it doesn't, I'll go on with my life and I'll be the same person. I don't see that changing my entire life.
And if you should make it, what shall people keep in mind of your Tour de France and your way, how you did win it?
I think if I can predict what will happen in the next week, that if we win it, we will have to be the smartest racers, not the strongest ones.
Thank you.
Good, Greg.
Okay, so Floyd, just our questions are the state of American cycling. It's much stronger than it has been in past years, and how do you feel about it?
It's been very good for all of the American cyclists. It's made it more popular that Lance won 7 years in a row, obviously. How many people are watching now, I don't know. I hope most of them who came because of Lance will stay around, because it's a beautiful sport and more people need to be involved, not just watching but riding their bikes. But it made it possible for quite a few Americans to have a career doing this, and it's certainly a dream come true.
Will you follow, or as you retire at some point, will you try to have your legacy kind of continue strengthening, cycling within the youth or anything in the U.S.?
Yeah, certainly. If I can help somebody who was like I was not so many years ago, that would be satisfying to me. I don't have any particular plans for what I'll do when I retire, but cycling has been my life for 10 years and I can't see going away from it now.
We're going to be done. Let's just try to keep it short.
Look at you, look at the camera.
Look at me. All right. First, you've answered this a few times, but of the next 3 stages in the Alps plus the TT, is there one of those that you're thinking is going to be sort of D-Day for whether or not you end up in Paris with the color you want?
No, it's a more general plan. I would say that I need to get through the next 3 days without losing too much time on the guys who can time trial. In that case, if I arrive to the time trial at least close to the guys who matter, I'm confident in my time trialing ability. So I don't have one day picked out where I need to make up the time. I think the time trial will be the most important, assuming I get the rest of it right.
We can probably guess at the names, but why don't you rank like the top 3 guys that you think are going to be the ones that you really need to worry about and be close to going into that time trial?
I've seen Menchov time trial very well. I've seen Cloden time trial very well. And Cadell has been improving quite a bit. Over and above that, you just never know which guys might have a good day in the time trial, but those are the ones I'd say consistently do well in time trials.
There's been a lot of talk about maybe a possible allegiance between Discovery and Rabobank having formed over the last couple of days. How concerned, well, A, do you think that's plausible, and B, how concerned are you about it?
If it exists, I'm not concerned about it, but it doesn't make any sense to me, so I don't know that it does exist. At least based on the way I've seen both of them race yesterday, I can't imagine that that's the case, but if it is, I'm not concerned.
And not even with Frere sort of, maybe Popovich just got away from him on his own, or Frere let him go? I mean, I think that's where it certainly the thoughts started from.
I don't see Frere giving up a stage win for help later when, I just don't think it makes any sense. But if it exists, it's fine. So be it. It'd be great if those 2 teams control the race. I'd like that.
Coming up are the Alps. Have you had a chance to preview all of those climbs? And of the 3 stages, which one do you feel might be the hardest or most difficult for you?
I rode the second one, not too sweet, finished there in Dauphiné, so we did the entire stage. The other 2 I didn't pre-ride before this race, but I have done all of those climbs multiple times. Alpe d'Huez is pretty straightforward. You can see it coming. And the Juplin, there's a long downhill at the end, but I'm not one to worry about the downhill really. So I know all of the stages, and I think that the second, La Toussaint, is the hardest stage before the last climb, but then the last climb is not the steepest. So hopefully, the best thing that could happen for me is that the circumstances are that we arrive at the last climb close to the other contenders. I think if that happens, I can manage it on my own.
On Plat de Beret, you rode an incredibly strong ride there. Levi was attacking for the stage win. Minchoff was attacking for the stage win. You kept it steady. On Alpe d'Huez or on Tourcier, do you feel that you might be the one to attack, to be able to distance yourself from these other riders to be able to open up a time gap to be more comfortable with?
Right now, the way the circumstances are, I don't know that it's necessary or wise, for that matter, for me to attack. I think I'll ride a conservative race the way I have until now. I don't have any big objective to win any one of those stages in particular, so I will save as much as possible.
And in saving as much as possible, how long will you wait to grab the yellow jersey back before you get to Paris? Like, when would be too late?
I think if things stay the way they are now, arriving at the time trial, I'll be okay.
Coming into these next mountain stages, you have a bunch of very strong riders in the top 10. Who do you think you need to look out for the most?
I think I need to watch Menchov, and Cadell was strong. He helped a bit. He was dropped in the last few kilometers, but that was because he actually did some of the work on the climb. He was the only one that did. Menchov, I don't know, because he didn't help at all. He was strong, but he didn't do any of the work. Also, Carlos Sasser is strong. He was there till Levi and Menchov started attacking. So all of those guys, and then Cloden, I don't know exactly, but I know he's strong because he didn't lose very much time on that climb. That list of guys, I think if I can watch them, is all I need to do.
And Floyd Landis?
About
Strong?
me? Yeah,
Strong.
I'm fine.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Floyd.
All right. Thanks.